Have you gone down the AI rabbit hole as yet, my friend? Or are you still scratching the surface of something called ChatGPT and trying to write your content pieces manually because you want to put your own personal touch to them, which is fair enough, and then taking them to GPT because someone said that, oh, it writes better and, all of the different benefits, and just get your content kind of spruced up and bring it back into your workflow. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you 100%. I have been, for the longest time, stayed away from everything AI in my work. Not because I did not believe in the potential of it, I really did. But it was like, it felt like, oh my gosh, yet another skill set to learn. Like as if the other stuff was not enough. Where do you have the time? Where do you find that kind of time, right? I'd signed up for these different groups and different things just to kind of get warmed up to the idea of getting to know what is it that's going on in the world of AI and just not sound like a complete stranger and an idiot. So the one thing that I figured is that this technology is evolving by the day, like big, massive jumps and shifts, right? So I knew that it's going to be sort of difficult for me to start from scratch, get updated, be on top of things, and kind of be able to bring it into my workflow. Because you see, what happens is that, like as an example, I use this CRM called Go High Level for my business. Now it's got like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 things, components that you can make use of. It's meant for a broader audience, it's not just designed for coaches, right? So imagine having to learn all those components or most of those components to finally find the 10 pieces that actually work for me in my business, and then say that, okay, now this time was worth it because now I have found my perfect 10 components that speak to me, my business, my work style, and I'm good to go. It's just so not worth it, right? So I had no idea where to start and how to go about it. Okay. And then I was looking for someone, some coach. It's the fastest way to learn, right? Someone has done something, you just reach out to them, get into their workshop, something, buy something from them. And you can really, really shortcut your whole process to learning and leveling up. I always do that. We've got this amazing fraternity of coaches around us. I love to make use of that. So, and then I saw that all these so-called AI influencers, none of them were really teaching cohesively what is needed for my kind of business. So, like, I teach sales, I teach client getting, I wanted faster results. For me, everything is about sales and feminine selling, opposite of chasing and begging and stuff like that. And I want to get clients the fastest, easily, right? So everything is around that in my world. I mean, when I finally stepped into this mad world, what I realized is for months and months and months that the two components, speed and quality, okay, they were not really going hand in hand together. Which means that if I could bring in a piece of content and I wanted to work on it, then I was spending a whole lot of time writing it my way and then taking it to AI and, like using its superpowers, so to say, and letting it spit out like this really polished version, right? So sometimes I would take up to a couple of hours to actually finish writing a really cool piece of content, which I could then repurpose onto different platforms, right? Email, especially. For me, my workflow is I always write an email, try to write a daily email, and then I repurpose it to different platforms the way I'd like to see it. That's how my workflow is. And for me, everything is about nurturing my people, everything is about qualifying my people. That's what sales is about. So if that was not going to happen, I could not justify myself spending all that time into learning this massively new. It was like a big elephant in the room for me. I'm like, holy shit, I was overwhelmed. As honest as that. But then it happened. And when it happened, the one thing I can tell you is I am the most fascinated by what all this technology can do for us. And I feel super blessed personally to be around in this era where we can really, really bring in, embody, and start using, implementing a lot of this tech heavy but very simple to use stuff in our work, in our workflow, and get everything done like magically fast. Okay. I mean, the possibilities are mind blowing. I mean, that's an understatement. I started seeing the shifts in the coaching industry. I mean, imagine a world, we're still just like, the first month of the year 2025 when I'm filming this video. And I see that within the next couple of months, if not already, we'll be living in a sea of massive amounts of content. And in order to stay relevant, in order for us to be noticed, the only differentiator, you will see content being put out everywhere on multiple platforms, one after the other, programs coming out one after the other, courses coming out, completely there to overwhelm the heck out of us. And I was very nervous, honestly, that's why. But now that I've gotten myself through this phase already, I can tell you one thing for sure, that this is a complete blessing for all of us to be around in this tech era of AI employees, what AI can do for us. And AI is a very generic terminology. We're not going to get deep into this. We'll save that for the workshop, for which I'm coming and speaking to you about. So what is this 21 in 21 emails thing? So basically, in one line, it's the ability to produce 21 high converting emails for your coaching clients, prospects, potentials, or nurture them, or to get them closer to becoming a paid client for your offers. And how this works is, and why is it different, is because there's so many methodologies to get this done, and everybody's just doing something or the other using different models, Claude and whatnot. But what I realized is I like my content to speak to my audience. Okay, I'm no copywriter. You can talk to me about sales and client getting as much as you want, but when it comes to writing copy and stuff, that's not me. As honest as that, okay? That's not my zone of genius. So I needed to build a system that worked for my business so that I could shift my focus completely, conclusively to serving my clients and helping them get the results that I promised them to, right? While dipping my toes into this rabbit hole of sorts. I mean, I actually chanced upon, very surprisingly, very interestingly, just by chance, just got lucky to figure out a system which uses our good old Google spreadsheets. Are you the one who likes them just as much as I do? I absolutely love them. I like Google spreadsheets simply because they're very visual. You can have everything laid out in your rows and columns. They're super organized. My brain doesn't function if things are not organized, if I can't see them through. I'm a very visual person. I need to know what is the step-by-step process, what's happening next, how is this whole thing going to function? And then I need to have the control of tweaking, changing, whatever it is that I want to go ahead and do, right? So what I ended up landing into is this very crazy, super simplified system of creating client getting emails, and then you can obviously repurpose these emails. I'll give you a simple analogy. Imagine like a well-organized, well-stocked up pantry, which you've got all these ingredients for the next 30 days or whatever, doesn't matter. And what it does is you've got all the things labeled, nicely put out, nicely spaced out. You can see them all visually really well. And then you say, okay, I want to write about this topic. Okay, or this is the workshop, or this is the campaign that I'm running. It's going to run for 15 days, 20 days, doesn't matter. And then I want it to have different angles to it. This is the key. I talk about angles a lot in my DM workshops, in my mastermind programs. It's all based off personal connection. And DMs is like one of the top things that I always talk about, teach, share in my work. So that also we use a very beautiful, very well-organized, systematic DM spreadsheet where we catalog all our campaigns and the DM sequences and stuff. So I think that's how my brain is wired, and that's how possibly I started thinking on those lines and came up with this system. And now what's happening is in this pantry, now you want to cook a dish, okay? Now you have everything labeled. It becomes so much easier, and you want to add nice, complex flavor, not just keep it absolutely simple, bare bone structure, but you want to add a lot of flavor, you want to add metaphors, you have these special verbiage that you use more often than not, you want to add your personal stories, you want to relate with your audience, you want to show up like a leader, you want to change their beliefs, because trust me, that's the only way they'll take action together with you and move on to the next step and the next step with you. So all of those different good things, which are a very, 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 very important part of a good content piece. So, like, you have a system now where you have a whole content bank and you have these different sections, like your different shelves in the pantry, and you've got these different deposits of information sitting there in a way that AI or GPT or Claude, doesn't matter, or it'll work for all of them. They're able to pull out the right information in the right combination, in the right sequence on its own. And you're not sitting and waiting and trying to learn different prompts and, run through 200 pages of document. That was me, guilty as charged. And I'm trying to change that. Run through 200 pages of prompt documentation and look at which one goes where and going crazy. So this system basically completely eliminates all of that. It gives you prompts. It's not a custom GPT if you know about it, but it's like it's a very beautiful simplified system which keeps all your work, your experiences, your own beliefs, your values, your stories, your special verbiage, your brand voice, whatever it is. There is no limit to this, and you can create a system which can grow with your needs. It can get tweaked with your needs, and then you can feed it in a very specific format into any of your ChatGPT models, and then ask it to spit out a whole sequence of emails starting from, as an example, if you have a workshop coming up, you can tell it to first nurture people, warm them up, invite them over to your workshop. Once they come for the workshop, you can do follow-ups with them, tell them about the offer, tell them about the benefits, tell them about, do a lot of belief shifting, or invite them to a call. Whatever your funnel looks like, it becomes very seamless. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not here to sit and teach you one little something, some tool that I figured, to write your emails. That's not what I do. I teach sales. I teach you client conversion. I'm helping coaches build $1 million businesses while serving and while using the principles of persuasion selling, which is the opposite of persuasion chasing and begging and stuff like that, and without even hiring a team. The reason I am doing this workshop for you guys, 21 emails in 21 minutes, is because I see a very important role of AI and technology and automation in helping us reach our revenue goals, no matter what that looks like, in the fastest and smartest manner. There is no other way. You got to learn how to use this tool to your advantage, stay relevant, stay on top, or be able to reach more number of people, find the right people by saying the right things, and not get overwhelmed while doing all of this. Make sense? So I am going to invite you to come and join me in this workshop. There's going to be a fee to it. And why there is a fee to it is, the reason is actually very, very simple, because I want to be able to qualify the right people for my business, and I want to work with only action takers, okay? Fast action takers. And also, as a part of my 2025 business plan offering to you guys, is I'm going to be working with fewer people while going really, really deep into working together with you guys and really bring about meaningful transformation, right? So staying true to that goal, it's very important that I only work with few of you in an intimate setting. I've always believed in that, and help you, walk you through to the other side together with me, right? And interestingly enough, we just announced a whole bunch of workshops which will also be available for purchase, along with some super cool bonuses, which will all be mentioned on the same cart page. And we're going to very soon start rolling out all the pages if you haven't seen them already. And I invite you to come and sign up, join us, and look out for your special bonuses that I'm sure you don't want to miss out on. There'll be replays. This one will be a 2-day workshop live together with me, 2 hours each. And we'll do some really cool stuff. There's a lot I have to share with you guys about AI in general, not just the spreadsheet, a lot of productivity hacks, some free tools. You don't have to buy everything, but it's important to kind of get the workflow right so that you actually leverage a lot of your work, which you don't want to do, or you find it boring, or it does not require you per se, and you can let technology handle that, right? So we're going to discuss a whole lot of things in there. So right underneath this video, you'll find a purchase link. Please go click on that, fill out the form, quickly finish paying up. The minute you hit on the cart button, you'll see options for multiple workshops right there. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. That's the best and the fastest way to reach out to me, and I'm happy to address your questions. Also, we'll have a Q&A session during the workshop. We'll have replays. We got your back. We'll give you, there will be a cheat sheet, there'll be a document. You will walk away with the client getting spreadsheet that I'm creating for you guys. As soon as you're signed up, I look forward to welcoming you inside my world. And we're building a very different community, starting over from scratch. So you will automatically get an invite to that, which is only for people who've bought any of our workshop tickets. So join us in. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's change the way AI is done. We don't have to sit and do everything. We don't have to sit and learn everything. And let's get it rolling. See you on the other side, my friend. Ciao.